I just interject no na ang pinakamagandang patunay dito, all similar democracies, South Korea, France, and all the other nations, no? Lahat sila, pag merong warrant from the ICC, dadaan sa kanilang hudikatura. Lahat. Tayo lang po nag-iisa na nag-claim na pwedeng hindi. So that by itself is proof na tayo lang ang tayo pa nga ang humiwalay sa paraan ng other nations.
Habang napapag-usapan natin itong impeachment trial, diretsang tanong, ano ba ang papel ng Malacanang dito?
Malinaw po ang tahimik na kamay ng Malacanang dito sa impeachment na to. Why? Because the senators who are under the gun, no, are being threatened not by the legislative, but by the executive branches, by the bureaucratic structure of the government. DOJ, gumagalaw, di ba? Of course, independent ang ombudsman, pero alam naman natin ang relationship ng ombudsman sa Malacanang. So, they are definitely making sure that Sara does not win. Why? Because the relationship between Marcos and Duterte has soured so beyond repair that I think they simply fear the future. No? So I think this is a matter of political survival and in fact physical survival on their part. The hand of Malacanang is clear just by looking at the actions of the bureaucracy.
Well, same thing, Vice President Sara Duterte is up against the full panoply of powers of the present administration. When I say full panoply of powers, there is a seeming community of actions, community and concerted action to unseat her. And this could not be made possible without the active yet secret participation of the present administration. It has even, blossomed not only from secrecy into an open declaration. Because if you look at all the happenings today, it is undeniable that the matter that happened against Senator Marcoleta, only a fool would believe that Malacanang has no hand in it.
They don't want her to run. They don't want her to win. It's 2028. And I say this with fear of backlash, expecting backlash. But this is my true belief kasi there's no other way to make sense of it.
Okay. Bobet.
Well, I would like to comment on the premise that you stated that kung majority pro Marcos ka, kung minority pro Sara ka, insofar as the Senate is concerned. But I do believe majority of the Filipino people are pro Sara. No? What is my proof? Well, the surveys would be my proof. And it may be very personal on my part, but my, interactions with so many people belonging to the masa would prove that they are pro Sara. I think more than a great majority are so fed up with the present administration.
Bobet, pero kung pakikinggan mo ang sona ng presidente, ay taliwas doon sa iyong sinasabi dahil patungo tayo sa ito ang development, ito ang aking mga achievements, ito ang aking mga nagawa. Your comment?
Well, yun nga ang sinasabi niya. But all of his statements, I do believe, were only made up so that he can have something to say. But then again, if you go to the ground, people are really complaining. In Mindanao, for instance, the crimes are increasing, statistics are increasing, and the people's capacity to buy the basic necessities is so gravely wrong that they could not even afford basic necessities.
Okay.
And that is a fact on the ground.
Jimmy, kanina sabi mo nga, this is a political process. To be more exact, they call it, you lawyers say it's a quasi-political, quasi-judicial exercise.
Yeah, and it's sui generis.
It's sui generis.
It's a class of its own.
Right, okay. So, original, in other words, walang katulad.
Walang katulad.
Ang pinag-uusapan, kaya natanong ko na may impresyon na kami, halimbawa, pag layman ka, bago tumayo si senador ganito, alam ko nang sasabihin. Pag tumayo si ganitong senador, ito nang sasabihin. So, predictable na yung ika nga sasabihin ng mga, with all my respect, going to the impeachment court, judges and the court itself.
Yes.
Pero, parang ang dating sa amin, in the end, it's a numbers game. So, saan mapupunta itong mga ebidensya, itong mga debate, itong mga cross-examinations, itong mga direct, itong mga lahat ng aming naririnig, ibig sabihin,
All for naught.
yeah, in your words,
Yes and no. Doon muna tayo sa no. It is not all for naught. Dahil ultimately, that it may still be subject to the review of the Supreme Court. No? Kasi it is still a legal proceeding. It still has to abide by the strictures of the Constitution. Pag may ginawa po silang grave abuse dyan, history will judge them. And by history, I mean the Supreme Court. No? Kahit ano po na branch or instrumentality of government kapag may ginawa pong labis-labis na pag-aabuso ng kanilang discretion, pwedeng i-review ng Supreme Court.
including the impeachment court.
Yes.
But I think for the immediate future, for the votes, they have all made up their minds. But are there swing votes? Yes. Bakit? Kasi may eleksyon. May eleksyon sa 2028. So yung mga iba dyan na tatakbo ulit might be the swing votes. Pero yung iba po, clear as day na yung mga
Okay,
boto niya.
okay, let's go to names. Sino sa mayorya ang pwedeng lumipat ng boto at sino sa minority ang pwedeng lumipat sa mayorya?
Magandang tanong yan.
Ang Villar ngayon ay nasa minorya.
Minorya.
Umaten si Camille
And
sa
I trust them.
SONA. I don't know ano ang ibig sabihin ng optics na yun. May problema sa prime water. That's very specific.
Okay.
Is there a possibility at one point na ang mga Villar na magkapatid ay lilipat?
And that is why I would like to believe that impeachment is really a political as well as a legal process. Simply because of the fact that the senators, no, insofar as the quantum of proof is concerned, kaya nga pinag-usapan namin ni Jimmy kanina yan, partner, is there a fixed quantum of proof required in order for the senator to have basis in voting for a guilty verdict or an innocent verdict? There is none. Because in criminal cases, you have proof beyond reasonable doubt. In civil cases, there is preponderance of evidence. In administrative cases, there's substantial evidence. But in between criminal cases and civil cases, there is an independent quantum. And that is the clear and convincing evidence. Now, some of the legal thinkers would advance the view that impeachment is governed by clear and convincing evidence. Well, that is their opinion, but that is only an opinion. So, because at the end of the day, the senator would weigh and base it on his conscience. And his conscience should be based as to whether or not the presentation presented strong proof that would require an evidence which would prove the culpable violation of the Constitution, the betrayal of public trust, and other grounds. But here we will concentrate on betrayal of public trust. And he will assess it. Nakapruweba ba yung prosecution talaga? Kasi impeachment ito dapat ang ebidensya. Mataas talaga because we are talking of an impeachable officer. Yan na, President, Vice President, members of the Constitutional Commission, members of the Supreme Court, and the Ombudsman. 5 lang yan. So kinakailangan siya, i-consider niya, he has to consider as to whether or not the evidence presented by the prosecution is such that it is enough for me to vote for the removal of a high impeachable official.
That's the ideal.
Yes, that's
Pero
the ideal.
meron ka rin political component na para bagang ako ba'y maiipit dito? Ako ba'y matatalo dito? Ang aming pinaghirapan na negosyo ba all our lives ay mawawala? So, the decision process is not solely based on the ideal. Because I totally agree, Bobet, na dapat evaluate mo ang ebidensya.
And that is precisely po, Tito Boy, that the process of presenting evidence and defending likewise the respondent in this case is very important because the way you defend the vice president and the way you argue her case would also matter because kung palpak naman talaga yung presentasyon ng ebidensya ng prosecution. Palagi lang conclusions of fact and law yung sinasabi. Di, nakakahiya naman na papabor ka pa sa prosecution. Mahina naman yung kaso niya. Kaya nga, the process itself is still important.
I totally get it. But again, I was trying to point out that there is a political component to that.
Much bigger than the legal for me. For me, it's much bigger.
Survival din eh. It's political
absolutely.
survival.
As is,
Because we were talking about the Villars, for
Yes,
example,
yes, yes.
specifically.
I was going to that.
Aside from the merits of the case, aside from how it was presented, how everybody performed, may consideration ka eh.
Yes, personal.
Personal.
Personal liberty as a matter of fact.
So, when we're talking about the Villars, is there a possibility that the Villars would actually go and vote against the Vice
Hindi
President?
silang mauuna. May mga iba pa akong naiisip but I will
Oh, let's go to
name.
Senator Loren Legarda.
Hindi rin siya mauuna. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking more of the other way. Na from the majority, the very thin majority, baka yun ang may mag-swing pa
Correct.
sa atin.
Umpisa-
For the sake of votes.
Yeah. For the sake of votes because of the
election
2020 elections.
votes, yes.
Pero gusto ko umpisan muna tayo sa minority kasi marami ang nagsasabi the Cayetano siblings, hindi ito gagalaw.
Hindi.
Robin Padilla, hindi ito gagalaw.
Bongo.
Hindi ito gagalaw. Si BG, si Bongo, Aimee, hindi ito gagalaw. Pag pinag-usapan naman natin ang majority, sino ang pwedeng may kapasidad or mape-pressure to, to swing, ika nga, to use your word?
Si JV, tingin ko, with all due respect, kasi the current surveys show na may mga tao po na mas mataas pa sa kanya. Katulad ko.
Oo.
Biro lang po yun, pero totoo yun. Ang akin lang po, they will be definitely hunting for numbers. Imposibleng hindi.
The
So it's the
re-electionists.
re-electionists. Yes,
yun.
it's the
Okay.
re-electionists. Who are mostly kasi nasa atin din. Si Senator Alan is re-electionist, si Robin Padilla. Pero doon si JV eh. So, basta ako, I would focus on the re-electionists.
No, and also, yung mga lumipat, Joel Villanueva,
Si
Jesus
Joel.
Cordero, for
Si
example.
Joel, kasi-
Ano ang reading nyo? Oo.
Yung dalawang yon. Although, I don't know gaano kabigat yung kaso po na
Tinithreaten sa kanya.
yung sort of Damocles over their heads, no? So, hindi ko alam. Pero I would really focus on the re-electionists.
Bago nagsimula ang impeachment court, ay nagkaroon ng debate kung legal, kung pwede ba talaga na magkaroon ng presiding officer. There were pronouncements of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, for example, that said, this is a paraphrase, na kaya ko naman I can actually prepare to be presiding officer. Pero the majority voted, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, na kailangan ng presiding officer. Wala sa konstitusyon, but we have the right to create our own rules. So, your take.
Well, that is a constitutional defect which might infect the entire process. Because, yes, the Senate is the sole judge of impeachment cases, but such authority is circumscribed within the parameters set by the Constitution. Note that the Constitution is the prime law of the land upon which all laws must conform to, even the Senate sitting as an impeachment court. So therefore, it is my humble view that it should be Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, it should follow. That if you go into the intent of the 1987 Constitution, it was clearly stated there that in cases where the impeachable official is other than the president, it should be the Senate president who should preside. And that is clear in the framers of the 1987 Constitution.
records, diba?
In the records of the 1987 Constitution. So, since that is a fact, then that should have been followed. But then the Senate did not follow it, then it has only itself to blame if the Supreme Court will later on act and say that all proceedings
Are void.
Are void.
From a non-lawyer, express sa Constitution na pag hindi ang presidente ang nililitis, ang presiding officer ay ang Senate President.
Ang Expresso Constitution ay nakalagay lamang doon na kung ang presidente ang inihabla,
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice. So, meaning, implied therein, it's clearly implied therein that other than that, then it should be the Senate President.
Punta tayo doon sa threshold, kanina yung pinag-uusapan. Dahil early on, sinabi ni Senator Cheese Escudero, you need 16 to convict and 9 to acquit. Tama ba ito? I mean, ano ang inyong pananaw? Ano ba ang tunay na bilang? Ano ba ang magiging basehan ng threshold na pinag-uusapan?
24.
24 talaga.
24.
Unless may namatay, yun, 23 na lang.
Or removed.
Oh.
Or yung talagang, according to the rules, talagang either namatay or talagang removed na from his seat. Pero hanggat nakaupo siya dyan, at pag binaluktot nila yan, dito na natin makikita, Tito Boy, na talagang may nagmamaniobra na ito.
Kasi of all the members of the Senate,
Very clear
yan
yun.
yun eh. Klaro yan eh.
Pero
Marami na
nag-agree
tayong
naman,
nabasa yan.
Chief Justice, former Chief Justice Davide
Thank
expressed,
God, thank
di ba?
God. Praise God, oh.
He said that.
Yes.
And kung hindi ako nagkakamali, even for President, Senate President Tito
Tito,
Soto,
he considered that.
he
Yes.
considered
But,
also.
but you have to understand why we are worried, no? Because there have been many pronouncements by this administration,
Okay.
whether legislative or executive, that have not been followed, no? So, we have to be vigilant at paalala natin ng paalala na 16 ang magic number.
Pagdating naman dito sa mga kaalyado ng minorya, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Jinggoy Estrada, Senator Bato, who is not available, I think Senator Amy Marcos was quoted to have said one time na dahan-dahan kami inuubos.
Totoo naman eh, kasi yung kay Senator Bato lang, halata naman that we already withdrew from the Rome Statute. Yet this present administration, despite early denials, is insisting that ICC still has some form of jurisdiction over the Philippine situation. And to our mind in the past, and still is present now, sinasadya ito para ang isang rason, para magiging unavailable si Senator Bato. Ikaw na ba naman ng dakpin at dalahin dun sa ibang bansa, no? So, and now the present indictment against Senator Marcoleta.
Who requested actually that he wanted to be part in the voting.
Yes, oo. And in the past, there were already resolutions passed during the time of Senator Trillanes. There was a resolution approved by the Senate, that even if he was in jail, he was allowed to vote, although it was not eventually implemented. But the fact remains na merong resolution na yon aprobado ng Senate during the time of Senator De Lima. There was also a resolution allowing her to participate in the proceedings, but it was not ultimately implemented. But it is a fact that it is legally possible.
Pwede.
Relate that with Congress, with the lower house. Their voting can be done even by text messages. They can participate via Zoom. They can participate via cell phone. Now, what is the difference between the lower house and the upper house? They constitute one Congress. So whatever may be the procedure in the lower house may likewise be the procedure of the upper house. So it is my humble belief that it is just within the will of the senators to allow my client, Senator De La Rosa, to vote or to participate if he wants to, as well as Senator Marcoleta to participate, because at the end of the day, he may be politically, he may be in jail because of a political motivation, but he is still a senator voted by the people.
Ito ba'y hindi napapaloob sa batas? Halimbawa, may makulong, o di kaya'y may hindi available, o di kaya'y may kaso. Meron bang batas na nagsasabing you can still be an active participant of the Senate proceedings?
Merong Supreme Court decision na sinasite
Jurisprudence.
pero hindi yun applicable kasi sa mga senador. The Senate can always pass a resolution allowing them to participate. And because why? There is that presumption of innocence. They are not yet guilty. And since they are elected by the people, they should be accorded the perquisites as well as the benefits, concomitant with the office.
Okay.
So since he is still a senator, Marcoleta should be allowed to participate in the proceedings, especially impeachment proceedings.
Palagay ko yung batas that we are looking for is the Constitution itself. Nakalagay all members of the Senate. So pag sinabing all, habang miyembro ka, pwede kang mag-participate.
At kahit
Bibilangin
nakakulong ka,
ang
hindi nakakahulugan
Kasi
na
member
humihinto
ka pa.
ang iyong membership
Yes.
of the Senate.
So that's the plain reading of the text, no? All members, member ka, hindi ka patay, hindi ka removed, member ka.
May mga naniniwala na yung proseso ay flawed, ay defective doon sa paghuli ng dating presidente na ngayon ay relevant sa usaping may kinalaman kay Senator Bato. May mga naniniwala na dapat yung arrest warrant ay i-present muna sa korte sa Pilipinas dahil hindi naman patay ang judicial system ng bansa. But on the other hand, there were statements from the administration that said, we are a member of the community of nations. Pag merong request halimbawa ang Interpol at may Interpol naman dito sa Pilipinas, hindi natin pwedeng hindi pansinin. Kaya we honor are being a part of the international community.
Don't you know, Tito Boy, that even an Interpol notice is merely, it is not compulsory on our part.
Communication lang yan.
Communication lang yan eh. So there is actually no compulsion on our part to participate or to cooperate. No, it is just that our administration now has chosen to do that. So let us distinguish between the alleged practice of the Community of Nations as well as the practice of the present administration. No one can deny that the practice of the present administration is such as to eliminate the Dutertes. And precisely because of that, he has gotten from anywhere and everywhere any justification just to, put some deodorant in their present action.
May I just interject na ang pinakamagandang patunay dito, all similar democracies, South Korea, France, and all the other nations, no? Lahat sila, pag merong warrant from the ICC, dadaan sa kanilang hudikatura. Lahat. Tayo lang po nag-iisa na nag-claim na pwedeng hindi. So that by itself is proof na tayo pa nga ang humiwalay sa paraan ng other nations.
Habang napapag-usapan natin itong impeachment trial, diretsang tanong, ano ba ang papel ng Malacanang dito?
Malinaw po ang tahimik na kamay ng Malacanang dito sa impeachment na to. Why? Because the senators who are under the gun, are being threatened not by the legislative, but by the executive branches, by the bureaucratic structure of the government. DOJ, gumagalaw, di ba? Of course, independent ang ombudsman, pero alam naman natin ang relationship ng ombudsman sa Malacanang. So, they are definitely making sure that Sara does not win. Why? Because the relationship between Marcos and Duterte has soured so beyond repair that I think they simply fear the future. No? So I think this is a matter of political survival and in fact physical survival on their part. The hand of Malacanang is clear just by looking at the actions of the bureaucracy.
Well, same thing, Vice President Sara Duterte is up against the full panoply of powers of the present administration. When I say full panoply of powers, there is a seeming community of actions, community and concerted action to unseat her. And this could not be made possible without the active yet secret participation of the present administration. It has even, blossomed not only from secrecy into an open declaration. Because if you look at all the happenings today, it is undeniable that the matter that happened against Senator Marcoleta, only a fool would believe that Malacanang has no hand in it. So the matter insofar as the participation, continued exercise of jurisdiction by the ICC insofar as the Philippine situation is concerned, such that Senator Bato is forced to have himself physically unavailable for public service, you would not believe if there is no hand of Malacanang in it.
Posible ba magkaroon ng Senate President at Speaker of the House na walang basbas ang Malacanang?
No way. We are too grown up to not know that, no. Alam naman natin na ang executive, I don't object to that, no, by the way, no. Kasi kuminsan naman talaga hindi naman magkakaaway ang three branches of government. They have to be interdependent, 'di ba? Pero iba naman yung magkakasundo kayo sa conspirators na kayo, no? And ang nangyayari ngayon is I don't want to accuse the current speaker, but in general, in this administration, yung speaker tsaka yung SP, hindi pwedeng hindi nila hawak. And this is proven by the brief stint of Alan Cayetano. Sandaling-sandali lang nawala sa kanila yung beat. At yung buong bürokrasya ng gobyerno at buong media, nilabanan na si Senator Cayetano na parang siya na yung pinakamasamang tao sa buong daigdig, no? And I think this is proof na talagang mawala lang saglit sa kanila yung kanilang stronghold on the heads of Congress. Magwawala talagang Malacanang.
Yan, same thing. Oo, kasi imposible naman yung pangyayari dito. Walang maniniwala na walang hand ang Malacanang dito.
Okay. In your view, pang ilang araw na tayo na nagmamasid sa impeachment trial, how is the prosecution doing?
Palagay ko in terms of managing perception for their aims, I think they're doing quite well. Now, and I say this only because I see the reactions of my relatives who are on the other side, of my friends on the other side. They're fully convinced of what the prosecution is arguing.
Okay, what about the defense?
They're doing well, I think. Lahat naman tayo, we cannot be Monday morning quarterbacks, no? Ayoko maging backseat driver. There are some things that I would love to suggest, no? But I would give them a grade of 95, no?
Mataas yun.
Mataas naman. Again, iba siguro yung sa aking kaibigan. But simply because hindi nila pinapalagpas yung mga attempts ng prosecution to create perception rather than establish law. Hindi nila pinapayagan yung conclusions of law and conclusions of fact na ginagawa ng kabila.
You're reading. Your assessment of the performances. Yes.
Insofar as the prosecution is concerned, the private prosecutors, optics-wise, great. Why? Because they are taking advantage of their experience and they are taking advantage of the advices given to them by media handlers. But evidence-wise, unfortunately, maybe because their case is really weak, I mean, objectively, I have to say that evidence-wise, no. The Article 4 on grave threats constituting betrayal of public trust, no way that you would conclude that the declarations of the Vice President would amount to such a crime that it would qualify as a betrayal of public trust. Impeachment is not about trial of controversial statements. It is a trial of impeachable offenses. Such offenses that would tantamount to the removal of a public official voted by millions, 32 million.
Perpetually.
Yes, perpetually.
Perpetually,
And disqualifying her for the rest of her life.
Okay.
Now, the defense, on the other hand, optics-wise to some of the lawyers may not be so good at first. No? But POA is great, right? And but
Magaling.
evidence-wise, no, especially the young lawyer and second lawyer, and his cross-examination likewise, insofar as Director Matibag is concerned, was excellent. And I do believe that the people have likewise realized that the evidences presented against VP Sara insofar as Article 4 is concerned is based upon secondary evidence, and therefore it constituted as hearsay evidence, and as such, according to People versus Damaso, it has no probative value, and therefore the Vice President, insofar as Article 4 is concerned, should not be convicted.
Hypothetical scenario. What if the Vice President resigns?
Well, that may be the Gutierrez track because Ombudsman Gutierrez was impeached, and then before trial began, she resigned. But I don't think VP Sara would do that.
I'm sure your question is more of what would happen if she resigns. Tutuluyan pa rin ba siya doon sa perpetual absolute disqualification?
Pinagdidebatehan din yan.
O pinagdidebatihan. But, again, verbalehis, basahin mo yung Constitution, hindi naman mandatory na ipataw yung parehong parusa. Yun lang yung maximum na pwede, na penalty. Ang pwede lang gawin, removal, tsaka disqualification. You cannot go beyond that. Hindi naman nakalagay doon na pag in-impeach ka, kailangang ipataw sa'yo yung dalawang yan. That said, pag nag-resign siya, palagay po ba ng taong bayan na titigil na rin sila yung prosecution? Itutuloy pa rin nila yung kaso because hindi naman removal ang habol nila, disqualification. Kasi again, as I've stated, 2028 po ang
Andyan lagi, no?
purpose.
The pendulum hanging
Yes,
over
absolutely.
all of us.
At saka delikado din kasi yan, Tito Boy. Kasi the Constitution is silent. Kung mag-resign ka, can the impeachment continue? Pwede rin nila i-continue. And yung sinabi kasi ni paring Jimmy, no, pwede rin siya kasuhan. Kasi
Yes.
the consequences of conviction in a Senate impeachment trial would be removal from office, perpetual disqualification, and possible prosecution. So, kung mag-resign ka, okay, removal from office may not be there, but what if they will continue? Okay, you resign, but there is also a principle of law. Once jurisdiction attaches, it
Adherence.
adherence of jurisdiction. So it continues until it is, resolved. So they might also, lahat na lang ng ideas ngayon, tinatry nila eh. There is no stopping them if they will also try that.
Sa basa ninyo, kailan siya lalabas sa impeachment court?
I am not ashamed to admit that I have absolutely no idea. Hindi po, the biggest strength of Sara Duterte is hindi mo siya mabasa. So I think she should maintain that. I'm happy not to be able to read her mind.
Okay. That's a very political reading. Pero Jimmy, hindi ba siya pwedeng i-require ng korte? I know si kaibigan, one of my good friends, Lorna Capunan, started to talk about inviting her as a hostile witness. Is she going to be required to appear in court?
No, because as a respondent, she has the option to be present or not to be present.
Until the end of the trial?
Until the end of the trial. So, requiring her to become a hostile witness is also a legal question. Why? Because right against self-incrimination, if it is a criminal case, you have an absolute right. You can choose not to be there in the witness stand. And impeachment, being sui generis, unique on its own, can also take the form of a criminal case. Why? Because what is at stake here is the possession of the second highest position of the land. Okay? So, therefore, Vice President Sara Duterte can refuse legally because she can invoke that my right against self-incrimination is absolute. I can refuse to take the stand whether I am a willing witness or hostile.
Maisingit ko lang, again, the reason why we are treading on parang uncharted territory, is eto na naman sila na baka baguhin na naman nilang interpretasyon on who can issue warrants. Bakit? Kasi sa normal pong korte, yung subpoena, pag hindi mo yan kinumply, it can ripen into a warrant. The court can issue a warrant to serve compulsory process. Judge yon. At nakalagay nga sa constitution natin na judge ang pwede mag-issue ng warrant. Ito, ang senator judge ba pwede? Di ba recently nga, they brought out the whole mechanism of the academe na sinabi nila pati ang judge daw ng ICC ay judge na rin in the contemplation of the Constitution, which I strongly objected against, Na ibig sabihin, yung warrant ng ICC directly enforceable na immediately enforceable dito? Hindi naman pwede yun. But, what if they do that? Then again, we're treading on dangerous constitutional
I get
ground.
it. May mga nagrereklamo kung bakit sobrang panahon ang ibinibigay sa impeachment. I think this was a young man, Lian Leviste, in one of his discourses, was trying to point out what happens to the flood control mess, what happened to the corruption that we are investigating. So, August of last year, of 2025, naglabas ang Presidente Marcos ng listahan yung 15 contractors. Fast forward to today, in your view, ano ba ang naganap? Anong nangyari? May mga nakulong? Are you happy with the outcome of the flood control investigations?
Well, certainly not happy. Now, this is no longer legal. I think this is no longer legal. This is all political. To my mind, this is a deliberate attempt to divert the people's attention from what should supposedly be done by this present administration. We are entertained so that we can no longer focus on what matters. And that is why the president is continually entertaining us now by giving us another version that accordingly there is going to be an indictment, supposed indictment against his cousin.
Yung aking media practitioner na pinsan, si Franco, taught me about the Overton window. And the Overton window, I'm sure as a media practitioner, you know this, is that meron lang talagang mga 4 o 5 bintana, which means topics, na kayang pagtuunan ng pansin ng mga Pilipino. So, PR or operators, ang objective nila, para maalis sa bintana na yan, So, if you want the flood control to not be talked about, you create many other train wrecks, And I think this is what they're doing with this. So, am I happy with the flood control? Absolutely not. Why? Because until it reaches the mastermind, at until hindi nababalik yung pera na yan, well, how can we be happy? And we all know who the mastermind is, but every time we mention the unmentionable names, we get bashed.
What is sui generis about this case is marami mga taong involved dito sa flood control are major players of the impeachment trial. Kasi halimbawa nung nag-statement si former Speaker Romualdez, nagpangalan siya. I am not part of the BICAM Small Committee. Pinangalanan niya si Cheese Escudero, pinangalan niya si former Senator Poe. A lot of the people involved or allegedly accused are participants of the impeachment trial. Kasi ang hindi napapag-usapan, parang nasa na ba ang kaso? Ilan na ba ang nakulong? Sino na ba? Bonoan is now a state witness. At ng mga bagay na ito, ang dami nang nangyayari. Kasi right after the SONA of the President, nag-statement si Speaker Romualdez, former Speaker Romualdez. Sinabi niya, my family is in pain, but I am innocent, and I will fight this through, etc. And I remember also the statement of Martin Romualdez after we got the news that Zaldico was arrested in the Czech Republic. Na para bagang sinasabi, kami ang naghahanda ng budget, pero hindi kami nag-i-implement. Executive. Wala kaming, I am not part, I wasn't even part of the deliberation of the budget which was done by the BICAM. So masalimuot at ang dami-dami involved.
Yes. And of course, I've been following the Supreme Court oral arguments, no? There have been names na critical na hindi pa tinatawag sa mga blue ribbon. Halimbawa, with all due respect, I really don't want to put anyone in a bad light, pero sila Secretary Amin ng Pangandaman, for example, no, sa DBM, specifically named in the oral arguments. No? For example, yung mga budget daw sa routine maintenance of national roads. No? Meron na sa programmed appropriations na 1.6 billion. Sa unprogrammed, merong 3 billion. So, total 4.6. Pero ang in-approve na release, 13.5 billion.
Okay.
So, paano nangyari yon? Kailangan imbestigahan, di ba? But have they been called? That's a big discrepancy. Tinawag na ba? Hindi pa. So why are the people that lead to the executive and particularly to the top of the executive, bakit hindi tinatawag? Bakit laging dito sa side lang na to? Which is why I kind of empathize with Martin in a way na wag naman puro kami. Yung sa executive din.
Ako, tinanong ko na ito, pwede bang maglabas ng pera mula sa mga unprogrammed funds na hindi alam ng presidente?
Posible naman
Ikaw na
yan.
lang
Siguro mangyayari yan.
Oo.
Oo, kasi siya yung Chief Executive Officer of the Executive Department, no, that implements that. Saan ba galing yung Department of Budget and Management? Oo. So, imposible talaga po.
Actually, may sumagot sa amin at sinabing, hindi, but the president delegates. Pero, ang katuwiran ng marami ay hindi naman siguro 100 billion at hindi naman 200 billion at even 50 billion i-delegate lamang ng presidente sa halimbawa DBM at pababayaan lang i-release without the president's approval.
The nature of unprogrammed funds is it is not a standby fund. Diba?
Yes.
It is a standby appropriation. Meaning, kailangan may mangyari para ma-justify yung gamit na yon. Presidente lang makakapangyari doon sa mga pangyayari na yon. Doon sa mga conditions or triggers as they call it. No?
Yes.
So, imposible po talaga.
Okay. Insertions, para lang maintindihan namin. What is your take? Kasi dito sa small committee ng BICAM, sa small committee sa Kongreso, doon daw nangyayari yung mga insertions sa mga iba't ibang politiko.
Kaya
What do you know?
Kaya nga siguro nagkaroon tayo ng impeachment trial talaga para mawala talaga yung kasi ang mga involved doon ay nandyan sa impeachment trial din. Oh. Tapos yung nagpasa nung nag-initiate ng impeachment trial, involved din yung iba doon sa mga insertions.
Okay.
So, our attention really has to be diverted para hindi na pag-uusapan yan.
Gaano ka-importante si Zaldico na makabalik?
Very important. In fact, matagal na kaming naniniwala na pwede naman siyang mag-testify online eh. Pero
Bakit hindi nangyayari yun, Chini?
because they really don't want, he will spill the beans, no? Absolutely. He knows the mechanism and is so motivated for his political survival to share what he knows.
You've heard about the video confessions.
Yes. Para sa akin, pwede naman gawan ng paraan because we have many ways to verify the authenticity of his identity and his testimony. Pero pag ayaw, talaga maraming dahilan.
Na-divide din yun, no? Yung halimbawa, sino ba talaga ang worthy maging state witness?
Yeah. Well,
Even during Marcoleta's time, di ba?
Yeah.
Napapag-usapan na yun because he was suggesting names. Ang iba naman, they were suggesting others.
it is my unpopular view na hindi naman natin kailangan ng state witness.
We don't.
I don't think so. I think we can make deals siguro, pero hindi naman yung completely immune na sila.
Because what happens when one becomes a state witness? Napapawalang sala.
Napapawalang sala and you become the witness for the prosecution.
At saka you're supposed to be the, least guilty?
Not the most guilty.
Not the most
Diba,
guilty.
yan yung madalas na sinasite, no, that you're not supposed to be the,
The
most
most
guilty.
guilty.
Pero meron sila nakakalimutan na iba pa dyan. May nakalagay dyan that there is no other direct evidence available. Ang daming direct evidence. And na yung testimony niya can be substantially corroborated on material points. Ang dami niyan eh. So, we cannot focus lang na porky not the most guilty ka, pwede ka ng state witness. May direct evidence naman eh. Bakit hindi hulihin lahat? Now, for practicality's sake, kung kailangan talaga natin mag-offer, maybe to a limited few. Wag naman yung mga near the mastermind, mawawala na.
If not the mastermind.
If not the mastermind.
Who is the mastermind?
Ang baka ayoko kasi makulong eh.
I wanted to ask you this. Ang klase ng oposisyon somehow gives us a picture of what kind of an administration there is. Who is the real opposition in the Philippines today?
PDP. Ako, I dare say, it's PDP, but not limited.
Bakit PDP, Jimmy?
Kami na lang po yung naninindigan sa mga prinsipyong Duterte na nilalabanan nila. But not limited to PDP ha. In terms of party, PDP ang totoong oposisyon. Pero in terms of individuals, nandyan po sila, yung mga opposition sa Senado ngayon, sila Senator Alan, totoong oposisyon yan. And it is because hindi talaga kami, we are not in bed with the administration on any material point. Wala talaga. On this impeachment, on the flood control, wala kaming anything in common.
Naitanong ko to dahil mula sa labas, ito ang administration. Pero ang opposition dati ay nariyan ang kaliwa, nariyan ang pink, nariyan ang yellow, nariyan ang Duterte. You know, because this is the administration.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, pero ngayon, nakakalito ng husto.
Oo nga.
Dahil, sino ba ang magkakakampi at sino ba ang magkakaaway?
Sa klaro lang, I hope our friends from yung sa ibang mga kampo hindi ma-offend. Pero pag flood control scandal na, tikom ang bibig ng iba. Yung PDP lang at Duterte group ang grabing umaatake dyan. Kaya nga...
Is PDP a Duterte party?
Yes.
It is.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely. But not limited to.
Okay.
No, but definitely, the principles are there.
Alright.
Tama yung sinasabi ni Bobet, no? Na kasi, on all material points, tumututo lang PDP. Yung iba, selective. Kung minsan, parang pag flood control, takot sila pag-usapan, pero impeachment, active sila. Parang depende yata kung saan sila inactivate eh.
Kaya nga, may punto, maganda yung punto ni Tito Boy, brother eh. Kasi sabi na, the quality of the opposition,
Is an indicator.
is an indicator of how healthy is the administration. You know, the administration is probably gasping for air in order to survive because it has resorted to very radical moves such as imprisoning, its political opponents, opposers, making themselves unavailable. They have resorted to such below the belt strategies just to survive.
Okay. Nagkaroon na ba ng pagtitipon itong magkakaiba dati? I'm talking about Lene Robredo's group. You have Risa Now Antrillanes, kung tama ang aking pagkakabasa sa mga balita. Of course, when I asked previously in an interview, sabi ko, who is the real opposition? Sabi, Duterte.
Hindi naman talaga.
Hindi naman
Kasi
talaga.
if you look at even the senators who are not on our side, who claim to be the opposition, they're not talking about the flood control. They're not talking about mentioning even the word bongbong. So, para sa akin, kung totoong opposition ka, pabanggain mo kahit ang presidente.
Because the common enemy is Sara Duterte.
Sa kanila.
Sa
Correct.
kanila.
Ayaw talaga nila ma-accept si Ma'am Sara.
Yes.
Kaya, maski na karubal-dumal ng ginagawa sa ating bansa, tikom pa rin ang bigbig nila. So that means everything is transactional yung politics nila sa tingin ko.
Among all those who are touted to be interested in the presidential position in 2028. Only the
Aside
vice
from
president, only the vice president has said, yes, I am running for
Yes.
the presidency. Anong impact nun sa palagay ninyo?
Well, she has already defined herself as a presidential contender, and she has made a decision boldly at that. And I think, to her mind, she is going to make it to the finish line. So that is a very political yet bold declaration on her part.
Jimmy, palagay mo, pag tumakbo ang vice president for the presidency, anong baon niya? Hindi ba siya magiging isang mapaghigante na presidente?
No. Si Sara kasi sanay sa politika yan. And she has always said na wala na akong pakialam sa ginawa niyo sa akin. Hindi ako maghihigante. She has said that almost verbatim, no? Pero ang sinabi niya, ang kailangan natin paghigantihan, yung ginawa niyo sa bayan. Which means she will resort to legal processes. Kaya nga, di ba, meron siyang sinabi na may vice president na siyang napili, na na-recruit, which until now, hindi natin alam kung sino, pero who will be a fiscalizer. So, I think she will resort to legal means, pero hindi lawfare. Kasi ang lawfare na ginagawa ngayon is this, kahit labag sa batas, kinukulong pa rin. Ito, I think she will simply investigate and jail those who must be jailed.
Same question. Ano ang baon ni Vice President Sara Duterte?
Track record of independence, track record of strong will. No, when I say strong will, when the father says that we should have an independent foreign policy dictated by no one, I think she will follow that. And I think we should have, self-reliant economy. I think she will likewise implement that, and she will not be dictated by U.S. or China, no, and she will pursue what is in the best interest of the nation by looking at the masses first before the oligarchs.
To your knowledge, kumusta ang dating presidente?
Ang mga huli namin balita is steady ang health niya, but of course, talagang slowly daw talagang deteriorating, not to the point of alarm. So that's all I know. And we share the same hope na sana makita niya pang maging presidente yung anak niya.
Well, I was there, I think, 4 months ago. Doon nga nabuntis yung aking misis na naman. So,
Sex or chocolate?
Sex all the time, brother. I don't eat chocolate.
Love this.
Kaya,
I don't have to have a last question.
So, recovering, and may mga Pilipinos doon na ikinasasaya daw ni PRRD kasi doon sa likod na portion, no? Pwede kang sumigaw. Tatay, naririnig niya.
We were there.
Nag-attempt din ako dun eh. Oo, so ganoon. So sana masaya siya, and sana magkatotoo na baka may milagro na makalaya siya. And I hope and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant it.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat po.
Mabuhay kayo.
Thank you.